Hey guys, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here. And today we're actually asking the question, should developers be on the hook for protecting out-of-date products? And here's why. Now, if you guys remember Windows XP, and how could you not if you are over, let's say, the age of 30, Windows XP from Microsoft debuted in 2001. It was retired in 2004, meaning it went completely end of life, no more patching, all of that. Now, about 3.75% of all desktops worldwide are still using Windows XP. That is probably at least a few million out there that are still running some variant of Windows XP. And Microsoft just went ahead and decided to patch both Windows XP and Windows Server 2003, which is basically the server edition of Windows XP. Now, a new infection has been found, and Simon Pope, which is Microsoft's Director of Incident Response, basically said that it's highly likely this vulnerability could spread like wildfire, very similar in the way that WannaCry has. And so they went ahead and pushed patches out there, simply connecting a Windows XP computer to the internet without this patch leaves it vulnerable to basically a massive infection. So Microsoft went ahead and did that. But that opens up the question of, we have a ton of legacy software, hardware, devices, gadgets, all of this out there that are still being used. Now, a lot of these have probably been retired, thrown out, sitting in your drawer, whatever that is. But nevertheless, there are some people out there that are using very old technology, very old computers. And the question is, what is the responsibility to keep these things up to date? Now, part of the impetus, I would think, would be on the user to make sure that they understand that patching is not just for performance and features. It's very, very important to patch due to vulnerabilities that crop up. But if your products go end of life, we have this expectation that, okay, we're going to buy a new product, whatever that is, whether it's Windows, a new laptop, a new gadget, new phone, whatever it is. But at the same token, there are those people out there that either, one, can't afford to do that in a timely manner, or two, simply really like the old system and don't want to keep it up. And so, or don't want to give it up rather. And so the question becomes, what is the balance there? What is the accountability that a Microsoft has, or an Apple, or take your gadget pick, whatever that is. They basically go end of life, and then when a major vulnerability crops up, these things say, well, you should have bought a new one, not my problem. And I'm curious to know what you guys think about this. I think Microsoft did the right thing in patching these things, but I think there's probably a balance there that can be struck between the users just being forced to keep things up to date and that update cycle being realistic. In other words, if Microsoft came out and said, oh, every year, you need a new operating system because we're cutting off the old one from patching and you're stuck, I don't think that would be reasonable on Microsoft's end. And they're not doing something like that, but that is purely an example. So where does the liability begin and end with a Microsoft and Apple, a developer of any kind, and where does it begin and end with the user? I think most of us probably think the impetus is on the user, but I'm wondering if there's any culpability or liability there that the Microsofts of the world should be taking. So I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. Let me know. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And as always, stay safe and stay online. Thanks, guys.